In the top stories, police investigating homicide in Virchiles. Prime Minister Drew visits Special Services Unit and CBI dividends to be paid in June. The details to these stories and more after the break.
We got stoves, cook it, fry it, bake it, stew it, poach it, eat it, drink it, slurp it. At Quartz, you can get it. We got fridges, slurp it, chill it, freeze it, store it, crisp it, pack it, and stack it. At Quartz, you can get it. Wash your dryer, that wash it, fluff it, spin it, dry it, clean it, fold it, wear it, sort it, and soak it. Rinse it, load it. SDA gon' make you blend it, crush it, toast it. At Quartz, you can get it.
In cricket, there are a few essentials. A bat, a pitch, a ball, some fielders, and plenty of refreshments. Enjoy the cricket with Angostura Chill. Angostura Chill, the official refreshment partner of the Hero CPL T20.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I'm Jason Davis. The Federation has recorded the 17th homicide for the year. 37-year-old Dwight Jacobs Greenaway of Buckley's Estate, also known as Mac 11, was the victim of a fatal shooting incident that occurred late Thursday night at the Samuel Williams Sporting Complex, also known as the Virchiles Playfield, near the basketball court. According to police reports, between 10 and 11 p.m. on Thursday, police responded to a report of gunshots heard at the Samuel Williams Playfield in Virchiles. Upon arrival at the scene, the police found Mr. Greenaway's body lying motionless on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Preliminary reports suggest that he was attacked by more than one armed assailant. A game was being played on the nearby football field, and patrons at the match recall seeing some commotion and, upon hearing gunshots, fled for safety. Neighbors also recalled hearing approximately 4 gunshots. His father could be seen walking back and forth outside the gate of the basketball court before being allowed in by police. There were also other family members on the scene. The body of Greenaway was taken by the Eastern Benevolent Society Funeral Home. Police will be investigating the matter, and persons with information are encouraged to assist. Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, visited the Special Services Unit of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force on Thursday, along with National Security expert Dr. Edwin Powell. The Prime Minister shared gratitude, reassurance and encouragement with the officers for their hard work, for their diligent work and unwavering commitment. He also emphasized the government's steadfast support for law enforcement's efforts to maintain peace and order in the Federation. Prime Minister Drew reminded the SSU officers that the duality of their duties requires them to be both forceful and compassionate as a situation may require. He urged them to always practice mindfulness as their decisions directly impact civilian lives, and thanked them for their service and challenged them to keep their eyes on the prize of a better tomorrow. Citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis are set to benefit from a second Citizenship by Investment COVID-19 relief payment or dividend, a share of the profits and retained earnings received from the country's CBI program. The payment process is scheduled to begin by Wednesday, 21st June. The introduction of the CBI dividend in December of 2022 was the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party administration's 5th COVID-19 relief initiative since taking office in August of 2022, and the first time in the Caribbean that everyday citizens and residents were paid a dividend on any state asset. The CBI dividend will be facilitated through the St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board and will be distributed in 2 tiers or categories. The first category is the pensionables or pensioners, and the second category is classified as those who are not yet pensionable. Pensioners and pensionables, that is those who have made 500 or more contributions to the Social Security Fund, will receive a payment of $500. Those who are not yet pensionable, that is those who have made 499 or less contributions to Social Security, will receive $250. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew is encouraging all citizens and residents to become financially savvy and help to create a wealth-conscious society as the government moves forward in creating avenues and opportunities for wealth accumulation. The topic of regional air travel has been on the tongues of citizens and residents in the Caribbean, especially since the departure of LIAT. During a panel discussion on the history, achievements and future of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States on Thursday, there is progress in streaming regional air travel, officials said. Director General of the OECS headquarters, Dr. Didicus Jules, spoke of the measures that have been taken by the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority.
It has one of the challenges that ECA faced in recent times was the downgrade of our airports, and that was a result of a combination of several factors: the condition of some of our airports, but more importantly, in relation to the U.S. Civil Aviation Authority, it had to do with the legal requirements that ECA was managing on our behalf. The law governing civil aviation in the Eastern Caribbean was a bit cumbersome. It required that every Minister of Civil Aviation would have to agree to certain changes being made. And one of the requirements of the U.S. Civil Aviation was that there should be a simplification of that process so that the Director General of ECA would issue the regulations and thus be in a position in a very agile manner to change those regulations to facilitate changes in the industry.
He also spoke of the authority's ability to set prices for airfare as opposed to the Trinidad and Tobago Civil Aviation Authority.
There are longer-term strategic issues that need to be addressed by ECA. One of them is that our overflight fees and so on are managed by the Trinidad and Tobago Civil Aviation Authority. And I think the time is ripe for ECA, once it regains that category 1 status, to begin to look at what we need to do to exercise full sovereignty on our airspace. So that is going to be a challenge for the future, but once we do that, there are going to be huge opportunities for the OECS because it means a better management of our own airspace, further modernization of our airports, and most importantly, I believe that the Civil Aviation Authority can operate as a totally self-financing institution, actually providing revenue for the further upgrade of our airport infrastructure.
Taxes and landing fees have been a huge factor in prices, and Dr. Jules says addressing them is a, quote, relatively simple matter, end quote.
I mean, the taxation thing is a simple matter or relatively simple matter of governments making the decision that if we want to be competitive with our civil aviation, we cannot afford to charge very high landing fees or passenger fees to airlines transporting people across the region. And we've seen recently some governments have tried to reduce those costs. One of the things that we had done as an exercise in the OECS some time ago in order to convince, well before the whole this departure of LIAT and so on, was to do an actual animation showing the volume of flights across the region and to create a simulation that showed the governments what the impact of a reduction of passenger fees would mean on air travel, because that would significantly increase the volume of air travel, and therefore what governments may lose from direct passenger fee revenue, they would gain from other economic spin-offs of the increase in air traffic.
Dr. Didicus Jules, Director General of the OECS headquarters, speaking during a panel discussion on Thursday night. After the break, the Federation and Taiwan sign agreement to develop an egg-laying industry, and the SKNLP to finalize copyright infringement agreement. Stay with us.
I wonder if Auntie will be able to figure out this riddle. Let's see. Auntie, I have a riddle for you.
Let's hear it.
Where can you shop and get cash back in free groceries for a year?
Huh? Where can you shop and get cash back in free groceries for a year?
Come on, Auntie, you should know this.
I really can't think what the answer could be.
It's SL Housewords, duh.
How do you know this?
Because Mom shops here all the time.
Come here, you little nosy prince.
Riddle that cashback. It's that time of the year. Cashback season is here. Get cashback coupons for free groceries with every hire purchase at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Plus, a chance to win free groceries for a year.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your National Bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
50,000?
50,000?
$50,000? Win big with TDC! Win up to $50,000 cash in the TDC Mega Rewards Mega Raffle! To enter, you must be a Mega Rewards member or sign up to TDC Mega Rewards Loyalty Program. Shop at our TDC retail stores or online at shoptdcgroup.com to receive one entry for every $250 spent. Draws take place from July to November. Win $10,000 every month with your entry rolled over so you can win, and win even more.
Yes, this is 50.
Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. On Friday morning, a signing ceremony was held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort for the St. Kitts and Nevis Layer Chicken Industry Sustainable Development Project. More in this report.
The Layer Chicken Industry Project is a joint initiative between the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Marine Resources and Cooperatives and the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan. Layer chickens are mature female chickens kept for egg production, and according to Livestock Extension Officer Delisha Huggins, this project is intended to tap into the expertise from the Republic of China, Taiwan to develop and strengthen the egg-laying industry in the Federation.
It aims to assist the government of St. Kitts and Nevis to improve the management capacity and establish a sustainable management model of the layer chicken industry through technical capacity and experience of the layer chicken industry in the Republic of China, Taiwan, and achieve a stable production and sustainable supply in COVID-19 post-pandemic era.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Miguel Fleming, noted that this project complements the planned broiler chicken industry being developed in Nevis and is indicative of the government's commitment to strengthen food security in the Federation.
This will complement the slaughtering facility that will be introduced in Nevis and really help to make a dent in our meat imports. This project is a step in the right direction, as agriculture has been named as one of the pillars for transformation of this federation. The government, by extension, the Ministry of Agriculture, will continue to introduce the necessary policies and make the necessary investments to transform this important sector for our food security.
Resident Ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, His Excellency Michael Lin, commended the Ministry of Agriculture on its continuous support and commitment to the partnership in agriculture between the two countries and spoke of the main objectives of this project.
With Taiwan's expertise and experience, key objectives of this project include the establishment of a breeding technology as well as egg laying and hatchery technology, ensuring the Federation's ability to meet the production needs of chicken farmers in a self-sufficient and sustainable manner. Upon completion of this project, we anticipate a consistent supply of 20,000 laying chicks per year, laying the foundation for a sustainable and thriving egg laying industry. This will not only secure the Federation's food security, but also contribute to the economic growth of the communities.
Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Samuel Duggins, said through projects such as this, the country would be in a better place to both meet increased demand and reduce the impact from external factors such as the COVID-19 pandemic.
And as the Minister with the mandate for such development, food and nutrition security, I can comfortably say that we are well on the path to achieve this with projects such as this. So when the demand increases in December, as it usually does, our local producer will be able to continually sustain the market all year long. And this is indeed a source of pride as I stand here.
One of the main aims of this new project is to reduce the country's food import bill. Minister Duggins noted that in 2022, the Federation spent $9 million for chicken imports, and the federal food import bill stands at about $19 million. He said the long-term aim is to put St. Kitts Nevis in a position where it can both feed ourselves and the region. Jason Davis, ZIZ News.
The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party is in the process of finalising an agreement in relation to the infringement of copyright committed during the 2022 election period. In a press release issued on Wednesday dubbed A Victory for Copyright, US-based Vincentian lawyer Franklin Edwards confirmed that the agreement is in the works with the SKNLP and that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party also settled for an undisclosed sum of money as compensation. The infringement in question is the song Get Rid of Them that was released in 2015 and is owned and was produced by Adrian Bailey but was sung by Vincentian Fabulous T. Both the SKNLP and ABLP used it without obtaining permission, while the ABLP changed the lyrics to Not Them Again. According to Edwards, in the press release, quote, "This process demonstrates the importance of artists copyrighting their material and the need for vigilance by artists over the way their creations are used by unauthorized parties." End quote. He encouraged creatives to sign on to existing copyright bodies such as the Eastern Caribbean Collective Organization, or ECHO, for music rights. Since the launch of the new Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Aging and Disabilities in February, several alleged cases of elder abuse have been recorded, prompting government officials to seek the public's assistance to arrest this problem, which often goes unreported. Elder abuse is an act within any relationship that causes harm or distress to seniors. It includes neglect, verbal or emotional abuse, physical or sexual abuse, and financial exploitation. Minister of State responsible for Aging and Disabilities, the Honorable Iseline Phillip, highlighted issues related to elder abuse during a national address on Thursday, June 15, which is recognized annually as World Elder Abuse Awareness Day.
There is an urgent need for increased awareness and more vigilance around elder abuse in St. Kitts and Nevis. As a community, we must learn the signs and symptoms and how they differ from the normal aging process. We must listen to our older citizens and ensure that any elder who is subjected to abuse is able to seek legal recourse and protection, with perpetrators being held accountable for their actions. Everyone should become aware on how to safeguard our elders against potential abuse as they age.
While encouraging residents and citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis to be vigilant in identifying symptoms of abuse towards seniors and to report these instances, the minister said the government would strengthen legislation to discourage and reduce abuse of older persons.
The ministry will therefore remain committed to developing specific legislation that protects older persons. We will also continue to raise awareness and work in collaboration with the Ministry of Health on regulations and standards of care for older persons. We will seek to increase awareness among the general public on the importance of wills, estate planning, power of attorney, and other legal filings that should be arranged as safeguards against financial exploitation and abuse.
Minister Phillip added that the elders have worked in the past to build the nation, and everyone should work together now to ensure that the senior population is adequately cared for and remain as active and independent for as long as possible. And finally, on the national scene, the Warner Park Cricket Stadium, the designated venue for the staging of the 25th anniversary of the St. Kitts Music Festival, slated for June 22 to 24, has been expanded to give patrons what's been called a truly exhilarating experience. This was confirmed by Alistair Williams, chair of the St. Kitts Music Festival, during his appearance on the June 14 edition of In Focus.
We have an expanded venue so that one can be comfortable while experiencing the music of the main stage. One can look forward to exhilarating performances, a upgraded facility, because even though the facility is a historic and great one, we want to enhance it. We want the whole experience to start from the time you enter the gate. And so it's not just the music, but we want you to really experience everything.
He said a highlight at this year's music festival will be the inclusion of a food court.
There's a food court. We have specifically set up a food court where you can go and enjoy some of your local delicacies, but at the same time we have a stage over there so that there'll be entertainment, there'll be screens, so that you won't miss anything at all from the main stage.
Mr. Williams encouraged patrons to come out early, as they would be given the opportunity to take part in raffles as well in celebration of the 25th anniversary. Coming up in regional news, Trinidad and Tobago pledges support for the World